Okay, so listen. For the past 2 months, I've been working on a video ranking the viability of comebacks for various retired mascots. I realized something. Number one, the video sucked. The whole thing sucked. And number two, the video was like 2 hours long. And nobody wants to listen to me for that long. I don't even want to. So, here's what we're gonna do, right? In order to better pitch these ideas and give a better clarity of why these things need to come back, we're gonna do things individually. So welcome to the Big Papa Breeze main channel, where we're going to do that. Now, that was a whole lot of words, so I'm gonna get to the point. We are in the year 2021, and that's an era of change. Mascots, characters, terminologies, a bunch of them have been retired as of late, and that left a void that needs to be filled. And that's where we're going to come in and do that job, filling the void. So without further ado, I'm Big Papa Breeze, coming at you live with music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done, so let's get ready, okay?
Hey, hey, hey.
So here's the plan. We're going to hit some key points in history and context, and finally bring everything together in a pitch campaign as to how and why these characters are going to be brought back. So who's the topic of today? Well, if you read the name of the video, you can tell it's the Eggoman. But what is the Eggoman? Well, it's time for a history lesson. Frank Joseph Dorsa. He is where this all begins. Now, despite being a very important figure in history, as you will soon learn, there isn't a real good photo of Frank Joseph Dorsa to use. So despite my respect for Dr. Frank Dorsa, who specializes in cardiovascular disease, they're not the same person, so I'm not going to use their photo. Why do I bring this up? Because when you Google Frank Joseph Dorsa, as of right now, he pops up. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, who is Frank Joseph Dorsa? He is an inventor, a visionary in the food department. Specifically, Frank and his brothers came up with Just Add Milk waffle mix. They made a new brand of mayonnaise. And Frank himself also innovated by inventing a continuous potato peeler. But in 1953, his most famous invention came to light. You see, in 1953, Frank created a machine to cook and freeze waffles on a grand scale in order to capitalize on the convenience meal market. His fruffles were ready in less than a minute. His brand would then grow to become what we know today as Eggo. That Eggo. Now, a brand, Eggo being, that would be adopted in 1970 under the Kellogg's umbrella, where it has stayed to this very day, even 50 years on. So that's how Eggo came to be what we know it is today, and how it came to be acquired by Kellogg's. But you probably knew all that, so let's get to the main event. 2003, Eggoman is introduced by the Eggo Company through a series of commercials, usually using him in a vaguely comedic way in order to advertise one of the various inventions Eggo brought to the breakfast table. From classic to chocolate chip to French toast to even Lego iterations, the reach of the Eggo empire expanded to dozens of different styles and flavors. So despite adopting the slogan, "Lego my Eggo," there was more than enough to go around. And the Eggoman himself led the charge for these wacky commercials up until his retirement in 2007. It's hard to argue with his impact as well, as Kellogg's stock boomed from the March 03 low of $16.56 all the way up to the September 2007 high of $36. Now, of course, I can't attribute that entirely to the shoulders of the Eggoman. But you know what? Shut up! It's his special day, not yours. The Eggoman brought some, at the very least, original and vaguely entertaining commercial antics to our TV screen. So all in all, despite his relatively short tenure as mascot, I feel he deserves a second chance. We just need an idea. And I have one. It's all about the narrative. It's not about who is the Eggoman or where has he been. It's all about what is the Eggoman. Now allow me to spin a tale of mystery and history as we plot a course for the return of the Eggoman. Here's our campaign. We're going to start out with a series of sort of cryptic TV bumpers on like YouTube ads, right? 5 to 6 seconds long. We need them to involve shaky handheld camera work. Think like Cloverfield or stuff like that. 3 different kinds. Number 1, somebody searching a haunted house for something. Number 2, somebody in the dark looking for something in the sky. And number 3, somebody exploring a forest. Now I'm going to expand upon these, but it's important that we have 10 of them. 9 of them are going to follow a formula, and the 10th one is going to be different. Okay, bumper number 1. Person A is calmly looking from corridor to corridor in a haunted house, in black and white. And they come across a giant piece of metal. Boom, cuts to black. Bumper number 2. Person B is filming the night sky as a lighted circle shoots across the sky. Cut to black. Bumper number 3. Person C is wandering through a forest and comes across what looks like a large metal wall. Cut to black. Now at this point, we have not explicitly stated that this is an Eggo campaign. It's still very cryptic. We're going to keep it that way for a few more weeks. These first few bumpers should last 1, maybe 2 weeks, and then we introduce the next 3. We're ideally getting people talking and getting people excited to see the rest. Bumper number 4. We're going to go back to Person B, who is now running through the darkness, and they come across a weird saucer-like object. But before it shows it in focus, once again, cuts to black. Bumper number 5. Person A is still reacting to the large metal object that looks vaguely like a big metal fork. He reaches over to touch it, and you hear this. And he freaks out, drops the camera, cut to black. Bumper number 6. Person C is exploring this giant metal structure, and you see a part of it sinks down, and he runs off. Cut to black. So at this point, we're maybe a little under a month into this campaign, and we still haven't explicitly said that this is an Eggo campaign. People are probably starting to figure it out, but we haven't come out and said it. Now, the most important things about this campaign and these bumpers is they cannot be scary. They can be a little spooky, a little cryptic, but not scary. Eggo's demographic is not edgy adults, it's everybody. We need something to appeal to everybody. Bumper number 7. Person C is running out of the forest, and you hear a noise. He turns around, and you see this pop out of the tree line. But once again, before it is clearly shown, you cut to black. Bumper number 8. Person B is inspecting the plate-like structure from afar as the bottom opens up and you can briefly see this pair of legs. Once again, before it zooms in, it cuts. Bumper number 9. Finally, back to Person A, who you can hear running in the distance. And then the Eggoman steps into frame, just out of focus. Now, the day that this airs, one specific change is going to go into effect. We're going to start re-airing all the bumpers, but instead of it cutting to black, it'll cut to a black screen with white, I'd say, scratch text that says findeggoman.com. A website that we have launched a few days prior where you can view all of the bumpers and nothing else, as of right now at least. Finally, a few days later, we release Bumper 10, the different one. It's a press conference, okay? Once again, shaky camera angle. It looks sort of vintage, with a person answering questions to the public. The first question asked, "Sir, is it true that this is the Eggoman?" The person on the stand calmly replies, "We believe that it is in fact the Eggoman." Question 2 is, "Sir, do you know where he is?" He replies, "No, at this time, we do not know where he is." The last question is, "Sir, what is the Eggoman?" The guy looks down, takes a deep breath, looks up, cuts to black, Find Eggoman screen. From here, the website adds a bunch of doctored photos promoting the campaign. You see the Loch Ness Monster replaced by Eggoman. Bigfoot replaced by Eggoman. Just superimposed over. It can be cheesy. Once again, this isn't a scary campaign. This is just a fun one. Have fun with it. Have people on Twitter encourage them to send in their own doctored photos. It's, I don't know, just fun. Finally, we're going to have our big contest where if you open a box of Eggos and you find the Eggoman sticker, patent pending, you win something. Maybe a trip to New Mexico. While we're doing this, we are going to have a second campaign, of course, where if you flip the box over, there'll be a Eggoman on the box where you cut it out and you put him in wacky situations and you take a photo. And the winner of that gets, I don't know what the executives at Eggo would like to give away, but something. So people will buy the boxes at the very least, because this is going to be a fun contest. People are going to have fun with this. Maybe we'll do TikToks of it. I don't know. But people are going to have fun with this contest even if they don't plan on finding that Eggo sticker. They're going to want to participate in the second contest. Sales will boom, popularity will boom, and the name will be in the public eye. And that is how we're going to bring the Eggoman back. The Find Eggoman Campaign. Thank you. Now I hope you enjoyed this pitch for the Find Eggoman campaign. Hashtag Find Eggoman campaign. And if you made it till the end of this video, I genuinely appreciate it. It's a very long video and I'm glad you got through it. And it's not very good. But once again, I appreciate you watching it. So for now, we're going to put this campaign smack dab in the middle of the board. This is going to be a series, hopefully, if this is popular enough. And we're going to rearrange them to find which is the most powerful, most impactful, and best campaign to revive an old mascot. Now I hope you have a wonderful day, and enjoy this professional artist's depiction of what we're looking for. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.